Well, hello there, my friends. It's me, Stu, here for you. And oh my goodness, do we have a treasure and a treat today? Joining me is Justin Demers. Justin, how the heck are you, buddy?
Amazing.
Well, listen, I'm super excited to chat with you because you have recently experienced explosive growth in your membership. And I want to kind of unpack what has happened because there are many lessons to be learned. Before we dive into, what the membership is and what happened, can you give everybody a little bit of background info on who you are and who you serve?
Yes. So, name is Justin. My background is actually in film production. So, spent a good amount of time on the road making films for big companies, and along the way teaching filmmakers how we did it. And so, I've been in the education space for a long, long time. And our new membership and our new offer is all around helping online business owners get started and launch education-based products really quickly and easily.
Well, and it's been amazing to watch what has transpired. And what I love about it is that this is like, would you say like your second iteration, so to speak, because you've had a membership before. And I think that, certainly there were some lessons learned from that experience. And before we get into your new one, what were some of the big lessons that you learned from your first membership?
Well, we had a membership for filmmakers, and we were totally on the content treadmill where it was just like nonstop producing content. And from a company side of things, it was super taxing on us. We had a team. We were always just producing more and more and more. And since working with you and going through Tribe and understanding the importance of the success path and making sure people are making progress, and progress trumps content.
Yes.
I mean, we just have a whole new outlook on how we run our memberships. And so I had, sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it. Go for it.
So I had a membership most recently around live videos, and I had a mastermind that was also recurring, and I've since closed both of those down. And right now Sarah and I are just focused on this new membership.
And you make a really important point, because there's 100% a myth that a membership is nothing but a content treadmill. But that's just really a difference in content strategy. And so I want to talk about like some of the changes that you have made, the new direction that you are going in. You mentioned that you have started a business partnership with Sarah Temte, and I want to talk about like how that kind of came together and how your skills really, are such a great alignment with one another and complement each other. So let's kind of start there. Like, you have launched a new membership, and how did you get started with the new one? What was the founding member launch, so to speak? How did that happen?
Yeah, so we had done a workshop, and the workshop was around helping people write. So I love Kajabi, do a lot of stuff in Kajabi, and Sarah's a copywriter. So I had sent her a message about 7 months ago saying, hey, we should do a workshop where you help people write a sales page and I'll help them build in Kajabi, because there's all these great offers, but it all hinges on a sales page being able to communicate value and move people through that process and all those things. And so we did it, and I think it was like $500. We had 100 people sign up for it, which was awesome. And in that process, Sarah and I were like, this is really fun. Like, we like working together, and we're having an impact on people. And this group of people that sign up for the workshop are all amazing. And literally in that process of conducting that workshop, we did a post-workshop pop-up group for 21 days. The idea for Wake Up to Freedom, the membership, was born. And we were just like, hey, founding member launch. Hey, we're thinking about doing a membership where now that you've got the sales page, we'll help you fill it with sales, because Sarah's great at copy. I can do the tech and all that side of things. And so we launched Wake Up to Freedom just to that small group first. And of the 100 people who signed up for the workshop, 67 of them upgraded to the membership. And
which is amazing. Let's just kind of time out. I need to pump the brakes here for a second. Justin, 67 of the 100 people in the group joined as a founding member. That's pretty amazing conversion rates. That's gotta, get you excited. And at the time, like, I'm sure you and Sarah were kind of like, okay, there's something here. Am I right in that?
Yeah. The thing that's interesting, it was a pretty generic pitch. Because it was like, we're going to build a membership that helps you fill your offers. It'll be like a marketing toolkit. You'll get content, but it was more of like, we had just served the heck out of everybody for 3 weeks, and they had amazing sales pages. Like, they'd gotten the promise of the workshop they had gotten. And that's rare. Like, it's rare in the online space to buy something and actually get the thing that you were excited about. And so I think the reason why the conversion was so high is because we were all in, and then we cast that vision as you walk people through, like, here's what it could be. And you're going to be around these amazing people. And, Sarah and I, our heart is in this. We're true servants. And yeah, it was an amazing conversion from the workshop to the membership.
And really important point that I hope everybody watching and listening. And by the way, thank you and hello to everybody who is watching and listening. I see you in the comments, and we'll circle back to those here in just a minute. But real important lesson here is the fact that you serve the heck out of people. And when you love on people, you help them achieve and make progress with what they have joined you. It's a natural conversation at that point where people are asking, like, well, what's next? Like, how do we continue this? Like, we've experienced this kind of momentum during the 3 weeks in your case with the workshop. Like, how do we continue this? And it's often a misunderstanding of just how much the delivery of what it is that you're offering is really the pre-launch to whatever you want to have come next. Particularly with a membership. So I love that you're emphasizing that. So let's talk about this. So this brand new membership, you did the founding member launch. And from what I can understand and hear from you, you didn't have everything created. Am I right in that?
No, it was like a bare bones Kajabi site and a Facebook group. Actually, we started off of Facebook, and it was like, we don't want Facebook. We're going to go to, it was a circle community, because we're like, Sarah and I aren't necessarily the types to be on all the social platforms and posting every day, 6 times a day. Like, we don't usually do that type of stuff. And so we're like, we're going to get everyone off of Facebook, and we're going to move everyone to Circle. We learned really quickly that was not going to happen. And so we ended up moving it back to Facebook.
So but let's kind of talk about that one point here for a second. Why was that?
Well, it's interesting because part of our membership is called Wake Up to Freedom. And the ethos is like, what if you had assets in your business that were working for you all the time? So instead of having to the reason Sarah and I don't us posting on social media every single day has no impact on our income. Like, we have systems in place to be making money without having to post on social media. And so part of moving people off of Facebook was our approach of saying Facebook is designed to keep you distracted, not keep you focused on what matters in life. And so let's get off of Facebook. But at the same time, Facebook has a network effect that is insanely powerful. And so people are tapped in, people are getting notified. So having people move off of Facebook actually hindered the community. And so for us, the idea of waking up to freedom, the community aspect is really important because it's a constant reminder to make decisions that serve your freedom in your life and serve why you're actually building the business you're building. So if you're not tapped into that community, it's easy to forget about that and to not get those reminders. And so we're in true building it with people. We're listening to our members every single day. And part of that was we really want to be on Facebook. And it's okay.
I'm just making notes here, Justin. If you see my head go down, it's only because I'm taking notes, buddy. I'm always learning, and I think that there is a lesson here because I've seen it play out multiple times, and I get asked that, where should I host my community? And one of the biggest things to be mindful of is it's much easier to create community by slipstreaming into existing habits that already exist versus trying to create a totally new habit. And I think that's kind of what I'm hearing from you here is that, Facebook has already, embedded in people's lives in so many ways. And it's much easier to create that community with what they're already using versus starting a whole new thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was it's friction, right? Like it's just being aware that um, people were creatures of habit, and
Mhm.
changing a habit, going somewhere else, something as simple as just like logging into a different social media platform is enough of a friction point that even if people want the thing that you have, like want the result that your membership provides, what we found is it was enough of a sticking point. And as
Mhm.
soon as we went back to Facebook, like the same number of community members, the engagement like went through the roof. Like last month we had like 5,000 new posts in our Facebook group, and there's a couple hundred people in there, and that was never happening on Circle. And so it was just yeah, and we can talk about this as far as like the content treadmill, but Sarah and I are just like listening, like what is getting in the way of our members getting results, and just removing those barriers step by step. And so the community was step one.
Well, I love that. And I'm writing down that question because I think it's a powerful one for anybody thinking about a membership site to really camp out on. If you're thinking about a membership or you've got a membership, like what is getting in the way of our members getting results? Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is progress, right? Like I say this all the time, but it's kind of like a bit of a joke, but I don't know that I've ever heard anybody cancel from a membership because they're experiencing too much success, right? So like if at the end of the day, if you just shake it down to its bare essentials, like as long as we continue to help people make progress, they'll continue to stay. So let's talk about what you did ultimately end up creating. You had an amazing start with 67 founding members of the 100 that you offered it to, which is incredible conversions. What happened from there? Like, how did you guys begin to grow and think about the membership after that founding member launch?
Yeah, so we did the founding member launch, and then for like 2 days after, we opened it up to just like our friends on Facebook, and so we ended up with 101 founding members total. And for us, that was a six-figure launch because our membership is not inexpensive, and so that was an awesome kickstart to the membership. The other thing we did on that was we said, hey, waking up to freedom is not something you get done in a month. So if you're becoming a founding member, just know like you can either pay for a year or you can sign up for monthly, but we are asking you to commit to a year simply because we're building this from the scratch. We want to set the expectation that like this is not an overnight make money in 3 weeks and you're set for the rest of your life type offer.
Mm-hmm.
And so close the doors, in Stu fashion, close membership, and we just got to work on helping our members get results. And one of the things that came out was like, hey, you guys just did this workshop. Like, talk about that. And I had done some other short workshops this past year with COVID. I'd done one on going live and one on getting testimonials. So they're just really short, 90-minute workshops that people can buy, consume, and get results relatively quickly. And so one of the very first deliverables we did inside of Wake Up to Freedom was a workshop on how to create workshops. Mm-hmm. And so we invited our Wake Up to Freedom members to that, and we sold tickets to it. And we did it, and we had 400 people that signed up for that mini workshop. And that became, like, when we did that became the focus. So instead of Wake Up to Freedom being a generic marketing membership, it was a membership around helping you create and scale these like short workshops to create lists of buyers instead of lists of leads. And so that is our whole focus right now inside of Wake Up to Freedom. Is we have roughly 500 members who are all launching these 60, 90-minute workshops that are helping people get that quick win, check off that to-do list item, and then build their lists of buyers versus leads with them.
And this is important because when we think about, and we're going to get there to talking about your recent launch of your membership, which took it to a whole nother level. One of the really important factors is something that you just said there, and I want to make sure that people put a star beside it, is creating a list of buyers, people who have bought something from you, which is a totally different list of somebody who has opted in for a free download, as an example. So talk to me a little bit about this, because not only are you teaching it, but you do exactly what you teach as well. And I know that had a huge impact on, again, your conversions for your next launch. So talk to us about the importance of creating a list of buyers.
Yeah. So last year, I launched a mini workshop called Click Go Live, and it was $37. I showed people simple ways to go live and make sales. And at that point, I didn't have an audience. Nobody knew who I was. I was coming out of a previous business where I was teaching filmmakers, so completely transitioned to a new market. And I didn't want to go the path of like create this huge audience and be on Facebook or Instagram all the time and doing all the things. I've got 2 kids. Like, I'm dad first, business second. And so I launched the workshop, had my first 100 sales by doing like, guest Facebook lives in other people's groups, or going on podcasts, or just like pure value type content. And then I immediately took that money and I threw it into Facebook ads. And so overnight, I went from no audience to just slowly building a list of buyers. And that was amazing. Like, last year, from a revenue perspective, was absolutely incredible. And what's funny is, like, by the end of the year, I only ended up with, 3,500 people on my email list, but hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales. And so that kind of cemented the idea. I think it's 1,000 true fans. You don't need to have as regular people. We're not influencers. We're not celebrities. We don't need to have these massive audiences. We just need to have people who are committed to us, and we are committed to them. And so that's what we did with our Sarah and I's workshop, Mini Workshop Magic, where we did it live to 400 people, and then we turned on the ads, and a handful of months later, we're at 2,500 buyers. And so we don't have big lists. We don't have hundreds of thousands of people that we email to, but everyone on our list has bought something from us and largely has gotten a result because they've implemented the simple process that we walk them through.
Well, I love hearing the journey and the backstory on this, because it is a myth that you need these massive audiences in order to have success, and you're proving it. You don't need, tens of thousands or even thousands. In fact, your original founding member launch was an offer that was made to 100 people. And that created tremendous momentum, which then led to the beginning of the membership. And as you said, you had been continuously building that list of buyers throughout the year, which then brought us to your most recent launch. And this is something that I just want to emphasize who you were marketing this to. It wasn't a massive audience. It was that list of people who had bought those low dollar offers from you all year long. So let's talk about going into this launch. What were your thoughts and expectations, and what were you hoping to see happen?
Yeah, it was interesting because we had Sarah, the doors were closed, and Sarah and I were just focusing on we're going to build a membership that helps people with mini workshops, which is kind of scary because in theory, it sounds way more sexy to say, I have a marketing membership, I can help more people. And Sarah and I were but no, we're focus. And so we knew we were onto something because our current members were getting amazing results. And our people that were buying Mini Workshop Magic, a day does not go by now where someone doesn't send us an email or post on one of our ads and say I don't know why wasn't this thing out earlier? I would have saved years off my journey if I just had this thing. So we know it works. And so for us, it was okay, we're going all in. So we planned a free training, and we used our success path that's in our membership. It's called the Freedom Path, as kind of the backbone to the free training. And so our low cost offer is how to create the mini workshop, and our membership is helping you scale it. So we invited everyone who bought Mini Workshop Magic, which at that point was around 2,200 people. And we said, hey, you bought Mini Workshop Magic. We're going to host a free training that walks you through exactly how we scaled ours to our first 1,000 sales. And we emailed our list. We ran Facebook ads just to our buyers. And then I have a relatively small free Facebook group around low ticket offers that we promoted in as well. And so it was by launch standards, a very, very small pool, but everyone had something in common, which was they're interested in low cost offers, and probably they had signed up for Mini Workshop Magic, our $27 workshop.
And and it was awesome to watch because you experimented with some things that were new to you and during this launch. And I want to talk about that because many times we can get wrapped up in the fear and anxiety of trying something new, but you did. And so I want to talk about that because you approached it in a very systematic way. And I love that it was not only the way in which you approached in particular, I'm talking about the webinar component of the launch. But the other part about it was that you made it very much your style, like you and Sarah, and your ethos. And so I want to kind of talk about that in terms of how you combine both best practices, but also your own style in the way in which you presented to your audience. So can you kind of speak to that a little bit, Justin?
Yeah, so part of the reasons why we like workshops in particular as front end offers is because they create an event. It's like goes on your calendar, it shows people show up for it and they actually implement it. Because we've all bought low cost offers or downloaded lead magnets and we had good intentions, but we never actually implemented it. And our thing only works if you implement it. And so we followed the same thing with the training. It was like, this is a live training. There's no replay, no exceptions. This isn't like a sales thing. This is literally like, because then you'll show up. And if you show up, you'll take information. And if you take information, you'll take action. If you take action, you're going to get the result. Whether or not you join Wake Up to Freedom doesn't matter to us. We still want you to get that result. And so Sarah and I, like our ethos is around just being us. So again, going back to we're not celebrities. We're just like regular people who have a desire to help. We have a skill set that can help a certain group of people and we want to serve. And so when we did our webinar, it was low key, not high pressure. There was no, there's just, we want people to make a buying decision because it was in the right decision. It was in service of where they want to go with their life, not because of marketing flashiness got them to make a decision that was based on hype and fear of missing out. And so we carry that through the whole launch, but particularly in the training, it's casting that vision. It's using the stories of people in there so that people can see themselves and see who's part of this community and what are the results that they're getting. But it's also just respecting that it may not be in the right sequence for everyone to join, and that is okay. And so we didn't even really, to go back to your initial question, we didn't really have a goal of saying we want 300 people to join. It was simply it would be awesome if whoever this offer is right for joined us.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had this exact conversation with somebody earlier this week, Justin, and we were talking about launches and promotions and so forth, and goals for launches and promotions and so forth. And I'm very much the same way. I am a very goal-driven person, but when it comes to the actual quote open cart part of it, I release myself of all of the pressures and expectations of having to meet certain numbers and whether we're ahead or behind and all that kind of stuff. Because in that moment, it's not about trying to meet that goal. Because if you show up with that energy, it's going to impact the way in which people receive the information you're sharing. But if you show up with the energy of we're here to serve, and the cards will fall where they fall, but the only thing that I can focus on right now in this moment is just showing up in the best possible way to help people right here, right now. And in doing so, it will set the stage for the open invitation for whoever that offer is going to be right for. And I just love hearing how in the same way you and Sarah, came into this and it's we're going to be who we are. And the focus right here is to show up and be ourselves and show up and serve. And in doing that, whoever joins, amazing, and whoever doesn't join, that's fine too. But the goal is that they still get value and can still move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because we have people inside of Wake Up to Freedom or people that bought Mini Workshop Magic and they'll say I only had 10 people join my mini workshop. And I'm the very first one to say drop the only word. You had 10 people join your workshop. That means 10 people have given you money. 10 people have given you their time, which is super, it's not replaceable. That is a gift. And it's it's the same thing for us. It wasn't we needed 300 members or we need this many. It was literally Whoever joins, we're going to serve the heck out of. Whoever doesn't join, they're going to get a tremendous amount of value. Like everybody wins.
And I just want I just really want this to sink in for people, because I do think that we create unexpected pressures on ourselves that we have to get certain numbers, and if we don't, we're not a success. And if we do, we almost attribute more, credit to ourselves if we exceed those numbers. But the point of the matter is that, like, no matter who joins, it's momentum, and we can never understate the importance of momentum. Whether it's 5 people, 10 people, 100 people, thousands of people, but that is momentum that we have no idea on how important that momentum is and where it will lead to. Many times we have, we can't envision where it's going to lead to, but to almost like honor that momentum and honor those people that we do have and do welcome into our programs and memberships. And so let's talk about this, because your approach to the webinar was very much you and Sarah in your element. You use the curriculum, as we talked about, like your success path. And for those that aren't familiar with it, this is a term that we use in our tribe program, where we talk about creating that vision and that path for helping people make progress, and what that looks like. The results were amazing, Justin. And I think that this is something that, again, is a testament to you and Sarah and who you guys are, and the fact that you are really centered on helping people get results. And because you have a history of doing that with those that have already bought from you, it naturally set the stage for people wanting to work with you in the membership. So let's talk about what happened. Like, you came into this so let's talk about how many members you had in the membership before, and then how many members had joined you after.
So we had started the launch with around 170 members. So we had done between the original founding member launch and this like official launch, we had done what we call like a lazy launch, a one-day lazy launch, where we just email our list and say, hey, there's this thing. And so that was on Cyber Monday. We had done a like one-day lazy launch on Cyber Monday. So we'd gotten up to 170 members. And by this launch, we closed just shy of 500. And so we went from 170-ish to I think the final totals was around like 480.
And this is important, because this is also, as you mentioned earlier, this is a higher dollar membership, which I think is, an important factor in all of this. But again, the conversions will be there if you are helping people get results with what they've already experienced with you before. And this is exactly what you saw.
Yeah. So it's $197 a month. And so we went from roughly $25,000 monthly recurring to just past 100.
Dude, I'm just so stoked for you and Sarah. Like, it's just been magical to watch you guys do your thing, to serve the heck out of people, and then in return see the way in which your audience has responded. What through this journey, what advice would you give for others who are thinking about a membership site for themselves?
I'm going to go back to that content treadmill concept, because I know that it's a common belief that more is more. And so if I put more in this membership, or if I launch it with more, I'll have more people signing up, or whatever it is. And I think the more that's misaligned is not more stuff, it's more like results or more progress. And more is more in that case, but not more stuff. And so for us, like today, I posted a photo in our member group saying, like, here's what we're working on today. And it was this like step-by-step checklist of, here are all the action items from the success path. Here's how to access everything. Here's how long it should take, how many times you should do it. Like, it's taking us a lot of time to put this together, but it's not more content. It's literally just helping people implement the content that already exists so they can see more results. And so if you're thinking about starting a membership, number one, don't feel like it's like a nonstop. You always have to add more, because you don't. No. And number two, just focus on people's results. Just focus on their results, because that's where the magic is. That's where retention happens. That's where referrals happen. That's where recurring revenue happens. All the magic happens in helping people get the result.
Well, you couldn't have said it any better, buddy. I love it. It's a great message for everybody, because it also releases the content creator or the membership site owner of the pressure of constantly having to create, because it's just not true. You know, people don't sign up to get a whole bunch of more stuff, as you outlined. What they sign up for is to make progress in their life, to get that result. And as long as you and I obsess over helping people do that faster and easier, then we're going to continue to have a success on our hands. So Justin, dude, congratulations, man. I'm super stoked for you. Thank you for coming and sharing. Where can people go to find out more about you?
I mean, you can find me on Facebook. It's just my name, Justin Demers. Or you can learn about Mini Workshop Magic at miniworkshopmagic.com.
Justin, you're a gem, buddy. Thank you so much for coming and sharing. Congratulations to you and Sarah. And I can't wait to see the continued progress with Wake Up to Freedom. You're awesome, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, friends.